Sem might be the first driver, Sem might be his first time at the Grand Finals. It is not the Knoppers family's first time. Maurice Knoppers, his dad, who's also making his return to the Grand Finals in the E20 class. And we're very, very pleased to have the Knoppers family once again represented at the Grand Finals. So here's your starting lineup then. Bas Lammers, the returning, the famous, the fabled, the one and only Bas Lammers, who earlier this week had a crash helmet returned to him that was stolen in France 5.5 years ago. And it was found in a sports bar with a load of other sporting memorabilia. I have a feeling that that sports bar needs to start checking some of the provenance of its memorabilia. But a special crash helmet for Bas Lammers, which has a lot of very special family memories for Bas, is on its way back to its rightful home. And Bas starts from pole position alongside the fast lady, Imke Arts. Nicholas Guillaume and Sem Knoppers go from row number 2. Mark van der Kamp and Rick van der Straat are on row number 3. Derek van Kurt and Axel Gauche are on row number 4. And Malte Schlatterer, along with the best of the Masters, Niels Böhler, goes from row number 5. Lissan Kelstra and Bas van Vlimmeren are next. Then it's Dimitri Ostrovsky, Wim Rouleau. Wim is this year's Dutch representative in the DD2 Masters category in the Grand Finals. Wim on row number 7, followed by Dominic Hummels, Brett Ottes, Ton van Weert and Carl Claribo. So they are your full starting lineup. Again, the drivers whose karts are numbered in the 400s are your DD2 drivers. The drivers whose karts are numbered in the 500s are your DD2 Masters. The same kart, the same engine, a slightly different weight limit and a slightly different age limit as well. To drive a Masters kart, you have to be 31 years and older. Bas Lammers did enter DD2 Masters and then went, no, I'm going to go in the main category. Championship positions, well, Sem Knoppers leads Nicholas Guillaume by 6 points. Imke Arts is third on 600 points. Axel Gauche has 595. It is very close at the top. These carts come into the tram lines. Lights go out. We're off and racing. It's a good, clean start from the 2 front row drivers, but Bas Lammers leads them into turn number 1. Imke Arts for the Sheppers Racing Service, is still there in second place. Everybody else cleanly through turn number 4. The 444 cart of Nicholas Guillaume is next, and then it looks like Sem Knoppers. And behind Sem Knoppers, Mark van der Kamp, Derek van Kurt, Rick van der Straat, Axel Gauche. Axel Gauche looking to make up for a poor qualifying effort. It's a 4-driver championship, really. Bas Lammers has, well, his seasonal debut back in DD2, so he is already showing the rest a clean pair of heels. Bas Lammers, well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to watching karting, you are now watching, well, not at the moment, but when we go back to Bas Lammers, you're watching not one of the Netherlands' best drivers of the last 20, 25 years, one of the best kart racers in the world in the last 20 to 25 years, Bas Lammers. There he is looking over his shoulder, already pulling away. He has done so much worked at Sony Kart for many years, works as a driver coach and a team consultant for some of the very, very best in the world. Off track, Bas is one of the nicest human beings you will meet. On track, he is an animal. He makes no friends on track, but he has so many friends off track. And the most remarkable thing about Bas, he is deaf. So he senses the engine note of the kart through the vibrations in the seat. He quite literally drives by what his backside tells him to. So that is remarkable. And again, always checking over his shoulder because, you know, peripheral vision is all he's got. He's got no, he can't hear the engines behind him. And it is. So you watch this live stream back, just look at the way that Bas drives. He's got a very upright driving style, has Bas. His shoulders are quite high compared to some of the other drivers. Using that tuck-down technique. Imke Arts and Nicolas Guillaume by fighting over second and third. The Sheepers Racing Service as a Welshman. If you're not quite sure why the Welsh and sheep are so well known together, just look it up on Google. But any team with the word sheep in them is a Welshman's favourite, I have to say. And Imke Arts leading Nicolas Guillaume. They're not allowing Bas Lammers to pull away too much. So Lammers is sharing a garage with Carl Cleribo, who is already at the 14th position. There is a look, there's a battle going on. Side by side, tyre smoke. Oh, the number 420 kart of Sam Knopper's running out of room. Trying to get up the inside of Nicolas Guillaume going into the roundabout. Guillaume was just coming across, take the racing line, and Sam Knopper's just up over the curb. A brief rotation, he does get going again, but that reduces the number of drivers in the fight for second position. Down to 3, and we're looking at the number 421, Imke Arts. She is holding up her teammate now, number 474, Mark van der Kamp. Mark van der Kamp for Brand Racing. Danny Brand's team, which does a lot of work, well, based out in the Middle East, but the familiar Brand Racing liveries here. There is the move, or not. Case maybe Imke Arts, though she is certainly the cork in the bottle, and oh, she's not letting the Brand Racing kart through. Number 474 of Mark van der Kamp. Behind them is the leading Masters driver. That's 552. That is Bas van Vlimmeren. So Van Vlimmeren in that the blue and white livery kart is at the head of the order. Guillaume has gone through, so Imke Arts having an issue. Definitely Imke Arts has a problem. Maybe a flat tyre developing. She's lost 5 seconds. And I wonder if there is a slow puncture or something like that. Now, we'll have to try and see, but I think it was Imke Arts who, it was Imke Arts defending and not Nicolas Guillaume when Siem Knoppers had his problem. So maybe, I would hazard a guess, if there was to be a puncture, it would be the right rear. A problem with the right rear of Imke Arts' kart. That's just speculation. Can she pick up the pace now? Because she does have this train of vehicles behind her. Behind the leading Masters kart is Rick van der Straat in kart number 495. That would be the Sodi kart chassis, the kart 4th in line. And behind van der Straat is Malte Schlatterer, then Axel Ghosh and Niels Bowler. Sam Knoppers is down in 10th, but not part of this battle. And well, there is Sam Knoppers just at the bottom of your screen. He's in front of Dimitri Ostrovsky, Wim Rouleau, Derek Van Kurt, then Carl Cleribo in 14th position. Brett Otters is 15th. Lissan Kelstra is 16th. Dominic Hummels is 17th. And Ton van Weert is 18th. And no, maybe it was just a temporary issue for Imke Arts. She has picked up the pace again. But it is strange how she was battling with Nicholas Guillaume just behind Bas Lammers, and now suddenly she's 7 seconds behind Bas Lammers. But you know, she is now stretching her advantage again over Mark van der Kamp and Bas van Vlimmeren. Oh dear, 2 drivers, the 540 and the 410. That's Brett Ottes and Carl Claribo having a discussion over the same piece of real estate. Both of them going for a spin, and that will drop them back from 14th and 15th to pretty much last place. All 18 karts are still running. As we head to turn number 14. Here is your Masters leader, the number 552 kart. That's the competitive kart racing team entry. Now, Bas van Vlimmeren. It's a very smart looking go-kart, but competitive kart racing, I've said it to their faces, that's a terrible team name. We've got to think of something more dynamic. The kart looks so good. Team name, work to do. Answers on a postcard. Let's think of a team name that matches how good the kart performs and how good the kart looks. But there it goes. Well, there goes Bas van Vlimmeren passing Martin van der Kamp. So that puts Vlimmeren up into 4th place overall, leading by a country mile in Masters. Niels Bowler in 7th place is the next Masters, and Niels Bowler is ahead of Axel Ghosh. Now, why Axel Ghosh is having such an off day is anybody's guess. Axel will be representing Team Netherlands in Sarno in 2 weeks' time. Here, Tom van Weert to the back of the field. He is the oldest competitor here, the ageless wonder, Tom van Weert. As we've got Shem Knoppers making a move there at turn number 4, and that passing Axel Ghosh. So Sem is fighting back now into 8th position overall. As we look at Van Vlimmeren, comfortably in front of the Sony kart of Rick van der Straat. And Van der Straat now in front of Van der Kamp as well. Sorry, if I'm getting my Van D's and my Van Deurs wrong, I do apologise to the Dutch audience. Probably getting a lot wrong, so I apologise for all my mistakes to the Dutch audience. Alex Goldschmidt, your regular commentator, is well versed in many languages, French, German, as well as English. I tend to struggle with English, but I'm Welsh, and I can't do the commentary in Welsh because that would alienate all 100% the people watching, I believe. Anyway, back to the track action. Bas Lammers. Well, he has only raced in this series. This is the first time this year that Bas has been out in one of the Rotax classes in this season. He has very rarely gets behind the wheel. Now, has he raced in the KZ2 class this year? No. Has he raced in the KZ2 Masters class this year? No, he hasn't. So this is a rare treat indeed for Dutch karting, having Bas. Rare treat indeed for Bas Lammers, and he is now, well, next time by he will see the last lap board, will Bas Lammers. We've got 2 laps to go at the moment. And Nicholas Guillaume a second and a half down in P2. We're looking on screen at battles further down the field. There's Sem Knoppers closing in on Malte Schlatter. Malte Schlatter holding on to 7th place. Up the road though, Bas Lammers is coming into turns 9 and 10 now. Now he comes through turn number 11 for Bas Lammers. Through turn number 12, around turn 13, we're watching Sem Knoppers, but Bas Lammers is about to make a hugely triumphant return. There he goes. Checkered flag for Bas Lammers. Nicholas Guillaume finishes second. Imke Arts is third. Bas Blan Vlimmeren in fourth and wins Masters, followed by Rick van der Straat, Martin van der Kamp. Niels Bowler is 7th and 2nd in Masters. Sem Knoppers is 8th. Axel Ghosh is 9th. Malte Schlatter rounds out your top 10 ahead of Dmitry Ostrovsky, then Derek van Kurt, Wim Rouleau, Dominic Hummels, Lisanne Kjelstra, Brett Otters, Carl Claribo, and Ton van Weert will round out the finishers in 18th position. But Bas Lammers on his Tony kart makes a fantastic return to domestic Dutch karting. And there are so many people in this paddock that Bas has coached or helped over the years. And now he's showing that doesn't matter how many years away from the driving seat you are, then you never forget how